skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Rise and shine, it's your time. Skill up, raise the climb. Navigate, innovate. It's your fate, don't be late. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay.
If you're a new manager or hoping to be a new manager, join us in our exploration into what managers need to know. This program will set you up for success by building your knowledge and confidence in the skills you need to be effective. Hello, and welcome to What Managers Need to Know About Managing Meetings. On the first session, we looked at beginning the meeting, everything that goes into identifying who should be there and what the agenda should be and getting that agenda out to people. We then looked at managing participants, making sure that everyone feels welcome, that everyone has an opportunity to be heard, that everyone is prepared. And now we're looking at part one of the facilitator role. So when we're diagnosing a meeting, we first look at whether the meeting facilitator ensured meeting minutes were recorded. It is so important that if we're meeting to make a decision, and that's what I say is the only reason to get people together to make a decision, is to make a decision, then we need to know what that decision finally was. So we need meeting minutes that show us what the conversation covered and how it got to the conclusion and the decision that was made. Instilling a sense of common purpose. We do that, or a facilitator can do that by first talking about the goal of the meeting, what decision or decisions need to be made, by looking at what the agenda is so that everyone understands the purpose of the meeting. Keeping the group on task. I suggested in previous sessions that it's helpful to have a whiteboard, a blackboard, a flip chart, depending on whether you're meeting virtually or in person, where you have the agenda written out and the time frames for it written out so that it can make it very easy for everyone to see what we need to cover and by when and how long the discussion can be. So to keep the group on track, having that agenda gives the facilitator the opportunity to say, we only have 10 minutes for this conversation or for this discussion. I'm going to allot 2 minutes to each person so we can make sure that we've heard from everyone. Creating an atmosphere conducive to the free exchange of ideas and information. It helps if at the beginning of the meeting, there are some rules of engagement that everyone agrees to. These would be things like treating everyone with respect, proposing solutions rather than just identifying a problem, working out issues individually rather than getting everyone involved, listening actively. It could be a number of different, very simple rules, but that's one way to create an atmosphere where people feel comfortable speaking up. I also like to use what I call an Indian talking stick, but it would be In my case, it's a couche. Whoever has the couche has the floor. So if there's some way, some tangible way to indicate who is ready, who has the floor and should be allowed to speak, come up with something. Also, creating an atmosphere conducive to the free exchange of ideas and information. This is a time where the facilitator may need to refer people back to those rules of engagement, or in lieu of that, being able to say, it's my responsibility to make sure that this is a comfortable, harassment-free environment. So I'm going to ask you to either apologize or watch your language, whatever is appropriate in that situation. Hopefully that it doesn't come to that. But I have had situations where I've had to say, because people were being somewhat Barbie and personal, that was my responsibility to maintain a harassment-free environment. Resolving conflict. If people disagree, that's fine. Conflict is one way to get different perspectives out on the table to make a better decision. But if the conflict becomes personal, there may come a time where it's important for the facilitator to say, we're going to take a break and pull those two people out of the room and talk to them about how important it is that the decision for the meeting has to be made, and that they need to resolve their differences and either listen to each other actively and respectfully, allow each other to lay out their perspective, and then move on. I have rarely, if ever, in all my years of facilitating meetings, had to resolve a conflict that wasn't amicably resolved. If there's a problem, however, you want it to become much as possible a win-win conversation. So having them separate the people from the problem, identify options for mutual gain, but by identifying common interests. If both people are vehemently opposed to each other's position, have them back off from the position and look at what they do agree on. And hopefully that can get things a little more amicable and comfortable between them. If the conflict cannot be resolved, then the facilitator certainly has the authority to ask that they leave. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. Next week, we will look at the remaining responsibilities of the facilitator. But let's talk. If you would like help with meeting management ideas, please schedule time to talk with me for free for a strategy session, either using the URL or the QR code. Next week, we look at Facilitator Role, Part 2. So thank you for sharing your time with me. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for coming and participating in our discussion of what managers need to know. You can find the videos of this and previous sessions on my YouTube channel or under events on my LinkedIn profile. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. Get the skills, be the boss, no more skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost.